The stars looked different from the bridge of the Thunderbolt *. Captain Jung Kim had seen them from Earth, from Mars, and from Europa. But here, at the edge of the solar system, they seemed colder somehow. "Captain, we're approaching the meeting point," said Officer Lee, his fingers moving across the control panel. "The Velkar ship should arrive in 10 minutes." June nodded. His dark uniform felt tight around his neck. This was humanity's first official meeting with an alien race. The Velkar had sent messages 6 months ago. They claimed to be peaceful explorers. "All systems ready, Captain," called out Communications Officer Yuna. "The welcome message is prepared." June walked to the front of the bridge. Through the large window, he could see the blackness of space. Soon, that darkness would hold visitors from another world. "I want everyone alert," he said. "But remember, we are here as friends." The crew of 20 worked quietly. Some looked excited, others nervous. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries. "Object detected," shouted the sensor operator. "It's big, Captain. Very big." On the main screen, a ship appeared. It was nothing like the sleek human vessels. The Velkar ship looked like a giant blue crystal, spinning slowly as it moved. It was at least 5 times larger than the Thunderbolt *. "Open communications," ordered June. Yuna pressed several buttons. "Channel open, Captain." June straightened his back. "This is Captain Jung Kim of the Earth Defense Force. On behalf of humanity, we welcome you to our solar system." The screen flickered. A figure appeared. It had pale blue skin, 4 eyes, and no visible mouth. When it spoke, the sound seemed to come from its chest. "I am Supreme Commander Vrex of the glorious Velkar Empire. We have traveled far to meet your species." June smiled. "We are honored. We have prepared information about our culture and—" "Your defenses are primitive," interrupted Vrex. "Your technology is undeveloped. Yet you have colonized 2 worlds already." June's smile faded. "We are a curious species." You move too quickly," said Vrex. His upper eyes narrowed. "Aggressive species that expand rapidly become threats to galactic peace." Officer Lee leaned toward June. "Captain, I'm detecting energy buildup in their ship." "Supreme Commander," said June carefully, "we assure you we come in peace. We only wish to learn and share knowledge." "The Velkar do not share," said Vrex. "We determine which species deserve to join galactic society. Your kind must be evaluated." "Captain," shouted Lee. "They're powering weapons." Before June could respond, the Velkar ship fired. The blue beam hit one of the smaller Earth ships in the fleet. It exploded instantly. "Battle stations," yelled June. "Raise shields. All ships, defensive formation." The bridge erupted into action. Red lights flashed as the Thunderbolt * moved into position. "They're firing again," warned Lee. The blue beam shot toward them. The Thunderbolt * shook violently as the shields barely held. "Return fire," ordered June. "Target their weapon systems only." The human fleet fought bravely, but they were outmatched. One by one, Earth ships exploded or drifted, damaged beyond repair. "Captain, we can't win this," said Officer Yuna, her face pale. 3 ships left, including us." June gripped the command rail. "All surviving ships, prepare for emergency jump. We need to warn Earth." As the Thunderbolt * turned away, June watched the Velkar ship on the screen. They had expected peaceful contact. Instead, they had found an enemy. "Jump successful, Captain," reported Lee after the stars blurred and resettled. "We're heading back to Earth." June nodded grimly. "Send a message to command. Tell them we need every weapon we have." What he didn't know was that Earth's greatest weapon wasn't a gun or a bomb. Far away, in a secret lab in the Korean mountains, Dr. Hana Park was about to change the course of the war, with something the Velkar could never expect. Dr. Hana Park watched the bear through the reinforced glass. This was no ordinary bear. Bako, as she had named him, was solving a puzzle that would challenge most humans. His large white paws moved wooden blocks into place, building a tower that wouldn't fall. "Remarkable progress, Doctor," said her assistant Ta. "His intelligence scores have tripled in just 2 months." Hana nodded, and his bond with Trainer Song is growing stronger each day. They stood in a large underground lab hidden deep in the Korean mountains. Few people knew this place existed. Even fewer knew what happened here. "What about the neural link?" asked Ta, looking at the data on his tablet. "It's stable. Song can feel what Baiko feels, see what he sees. It's beyond what we hoped for." Hana had started this project 3 years ago. The goal was simple but ambitious: to enhance Earth's wildlife for military use. Bears were chosen for their strength and natural intelligence. Now, after countless failures, they had success. "Dr. Park," called a voice from the doorway. "Admiral Sung is here." Hana straightened her lab coat. Admiral Sung rarely brought good news. The admiral walked in with 4 armed guards. He was a tall man with a stern face and gray hair cut short. "Dr. Park," he said without smiling, "I see you're still playing with animals while we face extinction." "These animals may save humanity, Admiral," replied Hana calmly. Admiral Sung looked through the glass at Baiko. "The Defense Council wants to shut down your project. They want to focus on building bigger ships and better guns." "That won't be enough against the Velkar," said Hana. "We've lost 15 battles in 3 months. We need something they don't expect." The Admiral walked closer to the glass. Baiko stopped his puzzle and looked up, meeting the Admiral's eyes. "Can they really fight?" asked Sung, sounding less certain. "They can do more than fight," said Hana. "They can think, plan, work with human partners in ways machines never could." She pressed a button on the wall. A screen showed video footage of a training exercise. A different bear, black-furred and massive, moved through an obstacle course with a human soldier. They worked in perfect sync, as if sharing one mind. "The neural link allows handler and bear to connect their nervous systems," explained Hana. "They feel what the other feels, know what the other knows." Admiral Sung watched in silence. "The Velkar have better technology," continued Hana, "but they've never encountered Earth's apex predators, especially not ones enhanced like ours." A technician rushed into the room. "Dr. Park, urgent news. The Thunderbolt has returned. Captain Kim's ship." Kim survived. Admiral Sung turned quickly. "How many ships returned?" "Just 3, sir, out of 20. The room fell silent. Another defeat. "Captain Kim is being sent here," said the technician. "Command wants him to evaluate the Battle Companion program." Hana looked back at Baiko, who had returned to his puzzle. "Good. We need soldiers who understand what we're facing." "This is our last hope?" asked Admiral Sung, gesturing toward the bear. "One of them," corrected Hana. "We have 7 bears ready. 7 chances to show the Velkar that humanity isn't as easy to conquer as they think." As they spoke, the facility's alarms suddenly blared. "What's happening?" demanded the Admiral. The technician checked his tablet. "Velkar scout ship detected in Earth orbit. It's scanning the surface." Hana and Admiral Sung exchanged worried looks. "They're looking for something," said Hana. "Or someone." "How soon can your companions be ready for combat?" asked the Admiral. Hana watched as Baiko completed his puzzle, placing the final block perfectly on top. The bear then looked directly at her, as if he understood everything. "They're ready now," she said. "The question is, are we?" Captain Jun Kim stepped out of the transport vehicle. The mountain air was cold and clean. After 3 months in space, fighting and running from the Velkar, the smell of pine trees was a welcome change. "Captain Kim," said a voice, "welcome to Project Guardian." A woman in a white lab coat walked toward him. She had short black hair and tired eyes that had seen too little sleep. "Dr. Park," said June, recognizing her from the briefing files. I didn't expect the program director to meet me personally. Hannah smiled slightly. These are unusual times, Captain. Follow me. They walked through heavy security doors into the mountain facility. Guards stood at every corner. Scientists hurried past with tablets and equipment. I read your report on the Velkar, said Hannah as they walked. 20 ships lost. Hundreds of good people. June's jaw tightened. They were better in every way. Better ships. Better weapons. We never had a chance. Perhaps we were fighting the wrong way, suggested Hannah, stopping at a large metal door. Maybe we need something beyond technology. The door opened. Inside was a large room with trees, rocks, and a small pool. It looked like a piece of forest had been moved indoors. What is this? Asked June. This, said Hannah, is where you meet your new partner. A low rumble came from behind a cluster of rocks. June's hand moved toward his sidearm. That won't be necessary, said Hannah calmly. Bako, come meet our guest. Something huge and white moved out from behind the rocks. June froze. It was a bear, larger than any he had ever seen. Its white fur gleamed under the lights. Intelligent eyes studied him carefully. 900 pounds of enhanced muscle, bone, and brain, said Hannah proudly. Genetically modified for increased intelligence, strength, and empathy. The bear walked toward them slowly. June held his ground, though every instinct told him to run. He won't hurt you, assured Hannah, unless you're a Velkar. Bako stopped a few feet away. He sat back on his haunches, still taller than June when sitting. You want me to fight alongside a bear? Asked June, trying to keep his voice steady. Not just alongside, corrected Hannah. She took a small device from her pocket. With this neural link, you'll be connected. 2 minds working as one. June looked at the device, then at the bear. You're asking me to mind meld with an animal. I'm asking you to form a partnership that could save our species, replied Hannah. Bako is no ordinary animal. Watch. She pressed a button on a nearby panel. A complex puzzle appeared on a large screen. It showed shapes that needed to be arranged in a specific pattern. Bako turned to the screen. He studied it for a moment, then walked to a table where similar physical shapes lay scattered. With surprising gentleness, his large paws arranged the pieces perfectly. That's a test we give to our top scientists, said Hannah. He solved it faster than most humans. June watched in amazement. How is this possible? Many years of work, said Hannah. But the neural link is what makes it special. With it, you'll share thoughts, feelings, even sensory input. Bako approached June again. This time, the bear extended his massive paw. He wants to shake hands, explained Hannah, smiling slightly. He understands more than you think. Slowly, June reached out. His hand disappeared in the bear's enormous paw. Instead of fear, he felt something unexpected, a sense of connection. When can we try the neural link? Asked June, surprising himself with the question. Hannah's smile widened. I thought you'd never ask. Outside the facility, high above Earth, the Velkar scout ship continued its silent watch, unaware that humanity's new weapon wasn't a machine, but a partnership unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Alarms blared throughout the facility. Red lights flashed in every corridor. June ran toward the command center, Bako moving silently beside him. It had been only 3 days since they formed their neural link, but already June could feel the bear's thoughts brushing against his own. What's happening? June asked as he burst into the command center. Admiral Sung stood before a large screen showing Earth's moon. A dozen red dots surrounded the lunar base. Velkar attack, said the admiral grimly. They hit the moon colony without warning. 2,000 civilians are trapped. Hannah entered the room, her face pale. Our regular forces. Outmatched, replied Admiral Sung. They've lost half their ships already. June studied the screen. He could feel Bako doing the same through their shared link. The bear understood the situation as clearly as any human in the room. "We need to help them," said June. He looked at Hannah. "Are the battle companions ready?" Hannah glanced at Admiral Sung. "They're ready, but not fully tested in combat." The Admiral frowned. "We have no choice. All other options have failed." He turned to June. "Captain Kim, prepare your team for immediate deployment to the moon." Within an hour, June stood in the launch bay with 6 other handlers and their bear companions. Each bear wore special armor designed for their massive bodies. The armor included breathing systems for space and communication devices. "Remember your training," said June to the team. "The neural link will feel stronger in combat. Don't fight it." Beside him, Jid nodded. His bear, Jium, was coal-black and slightly smaller than Bako. "The Velkar have never seen anything like our partners," said Jin, patting Jium's armored shoulder. "They won't know what hit them." The transport ship rumbled as it left Earth's atmosphere. Through the viewport, Jim could see the moon growing larger. Flashes of light showed where the battle raged. 5 minutes to landing zone," announced the pilot. June looked at Bako. The bear met his gaze calmly. Through their link, Jun felt no fear, only readiness. "We can do this together." Jun thought, knowing Bako would sense his meaning if not his exact words. The bear rumbled softly in response. The ship landed with a thud in the lunar colony's main hangar. Outside, they could hear weapons fire and shouting. "Battle companions, move out," ordered June. The 7 handlers and their bears charged into the colony. The sight that greeted them was chaos. Velkar soldiers in blue armor were pushing forward, forcing human defenders back. The aliens were tall, 4-eyed, and moved with frightening speed. "Form pairs, protect each other," called June. "Remember, they've never fought bears before." Through his neural link, Jum could feel Bako's muscles tensing, ready to spring. The bear's senses were far sharper than his own. Bako could smell the aliens, hear their movements even through the chaos. "Now," shouted June. The bears attacked. 900 pounds of furious, intelligent predator hit the Velkar line. The aliens had no defense against this new threat. Their weapons were designed to hit human-sized targets, not massive bears moving with unnatural speed and precision. Bako tore through 3 Velkar soldiers before they could even turn their weapons. Through the link, Jum guided the bear, warning of dangers, suggesting targets. They moved as one mind in 2 bodies. Across the battlefield, the other bears were equally devastating. Jin and Jium protected a group of civilians, the black bear swatting Velkar soldiers away like toys. The aliens began to retreat, broadcasting urgent messages to their ships. Video feeds from their helmets showed Earth's new defenders to the Velkar fleet. Supreme Commander Vrex watched these feeds from his command ship. For the first time since the war began, his 4 eyes showed something new. Fear. "What are these demons?" he demanded. "What has Earth done?" On the moon, Jum stood beside Bako amid the defeated Velkar forces. The bear's white fur was stained blue with alien blood, but they had won. Earth had found its answer to the Velkar threat. Supreme Commander Vrex paced the bridge of his ship. The large viewing screen showed the same images over and over, huge white and black beasts tearing through Velkar soldiers. His officers watched nervously as blue blood dripped from their leaders' clenched fists. He had dug his claws into his own palms in anger. "Play it again," ordered Vrex. The screen showed a white-furred monster throwing 3 Velkar soldiers across a room. A human ran beside it, seeming to direct its attacks without speaking. "Impossible," muttered Vrex. "No species bonds with apex predators." His science officer, Krell, stepped forward. "Commander, we've analyzed the footage. These creatures are not machines. They are biological." "I can see that," snapped Vrex. "What I want to know is how they control them." Krell brought up new images on the screen. They showed close-ups of the bear's armor, focusing on small devices attached near their heads. "We believe these devices create some kind of mental connection between the human and the beast," explained Krell. The humans may be controlling their minds. Vrex's 4 eyes narrowed. Enslaving a natural predator species, even humans shouldn't be capable of such cruelty. In the Velkar culture, all life was placed in a strict order. Intelligent species were at the top. Using a lesser species as a weapon was considered shameful, but enslaving the mind of another creature, that was beyond understanding. We need to capture one, decided Vrex. Both a human handler and one of these beasts. We must understand this technology. His military advisor looked doubtful. The beasts are extremely dangerous, Commander. We lost 48 soldiers in the moon attack. Then send our best, said Vrex coldly. The Shade Team. The officers fell silent. The Shade Team was Velkar's elite infiltration unit, saved for only the most important missions. Yes, Commander, said the advisor with a bow. And the target? Vrex studied the images from the battle. One bear stood out, the large white one that had led the attack. That one, he said, pointing. And it's human. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Jun sat in the medical bay as doctors examined his neural link with Bako. The bear lay calmly on a large table nearby. Remarkable, said the head doctor, looking at the brain scans. The neural connection is growing stronger. Hannah studied the images with concern. It wasn't designed to deepen over time. The link should be stable. June could feel Bako's curiosity about the conversation. The bear understood they were talking about him. Is it dangerous? Asked June. Not dangerous, said Hannah, but unexpected. You're sharing more than basic thoughts and sensory input now. June had noticed it during the battle. He hadn't just guided Bako. They had moved as one. He had felt the bear's joy at running, the satisfaction of protecting humans. I can feel his emotions, admitted June. And I think he feels mine. Hannah made notes on her tablet. All the handlers report the same thing. The bears are becoming more connected to their humans. Admiral Sung entered the medical bay. Whatever is happening, it works. The Velkar are in full retreat from the moon. Your battle companions have given us our first victory. June smiled, feeling Bako's pride through their link. The bear huffed softly. But intelligence warns us the Velkar are planning something, continued the admiral. They're obsessed with your bears. Let them come, said June, standing up. We'll be ready. That night, as June slept in his quarters, he dreamed of running through forests, hunting prey. Beside him in his special room, Bako dreamed of flying among stars in a metal ship. Neither knew that high above Earth, a Velkar stealth ship was entering the atmosphere, carrying the deadly Shade Team. They had one mission: capture the white bear and its human handler at any cost. Rain fell softly on the mountain facility. Most of the staff were asleep. Only a few guards patrolled the outer walls. Security cameras swept back and forth, watching for threats. But they weren't watching the sky. 5 dark shapes dropped silently from the clouds. The Velkar Shade Team wore special suits that hid them from human sensors. They landed on the roof without a sound. Target is inside, whispered the team leader. Remember, we need both the human and the beast alive. Inside the facility, Bako woke suddenly. The bear lifted his massive head, sniffing the air. Something was wrong. Through the neural link, he sent his feelings to June. June sat up in bed, instantly alert. He felt Bako's unease as clearly as his own. The bear sensed danger. Security, this is Captain Kim, he said into his communicator. Run a full perimeter check. All clear, Captain, came the reply. Nothing on sensors. But Bako knew better. The bear paced his room, growling softly. June could feel his partner's certainty. Sound a silent alarm, ordered June. Wake Dr. Park and Admiral Sung. Something's coming. On the roof, the Shade Team cut through the metal with special tools. They moved like shadows, quick and silent. Years of training had made them perfect hunters. Hurry, said the leader. If the beast senses us, we lose surprise. They dropped into a dark hallway. Their helmets showed heat signatures of sleeping humans in nearby rooms. They moved toward the research wing where their targets would be. Hannah Park rushed into the command center. Admiral Sung was already there, studying security feeds. "What's happening?" she asked. "Kim says Baiko senses something," explained the admiral. "But our systems show nothing." Hannah frowned. The bears have never been wrong about danger. If Baiko feels it. A security monitor suddenly went dark. "There!" shouted the admiral. "Section D camera is down." More screens went black, one after another. "It's them," said Hannah. "The Velkar." June ran through the corridors, pulling on his uniform. He could feel Baiko's growing agitation. He needed to reach his partner. A shadow moved at the corner of his vision. June turned, but too late. A Velkar soldier appeared, weapon raised. "Do not move, human," said the alien in broken English. More Velkar soldiers surrounded him. Their blue skin looked gray in the dim light. "You will come with us," said the leader. "Cooperate, and you will not be harmed." June stood very still. Through the neural link, he sent a message to Baiko. "Stay hidden. Don't come for me, *." But the bear had other ideas. In his special room, Baiko smashed against the reinforced door. Again and again, the bear hit it with his full weight. The metal began to bend. "Take the human to the ship," ordered the Velkar leader. "I will find the beast." As they pushed June forward, alarms finally blared throughout the facility. Human guards appeared at the end of the hallway, weapons ready. "Intruder alert. All personnel to battle stations." Chaos erupted. The Velkar fired strange weapons that released blue energy. Human guards fell, paralyzed but alive. In the confusion, 2 Velkar soldiers grabbed Hannah as she ran from the command center. "This one knows the beast technology," said one, seeing her lab coat. "Take her too." The Velkar began to retreat, dragging June and Hannah with them. Their mission was only partly complete, but they had what they needed: the humans who controlled the beasts. As they reached the roof, a massive crash echoed through the facility. Baiko had broken free. The bear charged through the corridors, following his link to June. "The beast is coming," warned a Velkar soldier. "Too late," said the leader. "We leave now." Their ship appeared above them, its cloaking technology deactivating. A beam of light pulled the Velkar and their human prisoners upward. Baiko reached the roof just as June disappeared into the ship. The bear roared in fury and loss. Through their fading link, June sent one last thought. "Find me, *." The Velkar ship vanished into the night sky, leaving behind a facility in chaos and one very angry bear with a mission of his own. Admiral Sung looked at the 6 bears and their handlers standing before him. They were Earth's best hope now. "The Velkar ship is headed to Mars," he told them. "They have Captain Kim and Dr. Park. We must get them back." Jin stepped forward, his black bear Jium at his side. "We volunteer for the rescue mission." "Sir." Baiko growled softly. Although June was gone, the bear still wore his neural link device. The scientists had been surprised to discover that it still worked over long distances. Baiko could feel June was alive, somewhere far away. "It won't be easy," warned the admiral. "Our fastest ship will take 3 days to reach Mars. And once there, you'll be outnumbered." Jin nodded. "We know the risks." But June would do the same for any of us. 2 hours later, Jin, Baiko, and 2 other handler bear pairs boarded the Swift Arrow *, Earth's newest and fastest ship. The bears wore special space armor designed to protect them and allow movement in low gravity. "Ready for launch," announced the pilot. Jin looked at Baiko. The white bear seemed focused, determined. "We'll find him," Jin promised. The ship took off, heading for Mars. Meanwhile, on the Velkar mothership orbiting the red planet, June woke in a small cell. His head hurt, and the neural link felt weak but present. Baiko was alive, and moving closer. The cell door opened. 2 Velkar guards entered. followed by Supreme Commander Vrex himself. "Captain Kim," said Vrex, "I hope you find your accommodations acceptable." Jun said nothing. "You will tell us about the mind control devices you use on the beasts," continued Vrex. "How do you enslave such dangerous creatures?" Jun almost laughed. "Enslave? You don't understand anything." Vrex's 4 eyes narrowed. "Then Dr. Park will explain. She created the technology, after all." "Where is she?" demanded Jun. "Safe," replied Vrex. "For now. She refuses to cooperate, but she will. The Velkar have ways to get information." Jun felt a surge of anger through the neural link. Bako had heard his thoughts and felt his emotions. The bear was coming for him. 3 days passed. The Swift Arrow approached Mars under stealth mode. On the bridge, Jin studied the scans of the Velkar mothership. "It's huge," he said. "How will we find Jun and Dr. Park?" Bako growled and moved to the viewing screen. The bear stared at the ship, then turned and walked toward a star map. With one massive paw, he pointed to a specific section of the Velkar ship. "He knows where Jun is," realized Jin. "The neural link is guiding him." The rescue team prepared for boarding. Their plan was simple but dangerous. Use a small shuttle to approach the Velkar ship undetected, cut through the hull, find the prisoners, and escape. "Remember," said Jin to the bears, "we've never trained for zero-gravity combat. Move slowly and carefully." Bako seemed to understand. The bear checked his own armor one last time. The shuttle detached from the Swift Arrow and drifted silently toward the Velkar ship. Using special tools, they cut through the outer hull and entered a deserted corridor. "Which way?" whispered Jin. Bako moved forward without hesitation. The bear knew exactly where to go. Inside the Velkar research bay, Hana Park was strapped to a table. Strange devices scanned her brain as Vrex watched. "The neural technology is amazing," said Krell, the science officer. "It doesn't control the beasts. It connects with them. A true mental bond." "Impossible," said Vrex. "No species would willingly bond with predators." "Humans would," said Hana defiantly. "We understand partnership." Vrex was about to respond when alarms blared throughout the ship. "Intruders detected in Section 7. Came a panicked voice over the communication system. "The beasts are here. They've come for the prisoners." Vrex's 4 eyes widened in shock. "They followed us. Through space." Hana smiled despite her pain. "You took their friends. Did you think they would just forget?" The whole ship shook as something powerful slammed against a door nearby. The sound of ripping metal filled the air, followed by a furious roar that made even the brave Velkar commander step back in fear. Bako had arrived. The war between the humans and aliens was long and hard. Both sides fought with all their strength. The humans and their creature friends worked together like they never had before. They were determined to protect their home, Earth. Jae-yun worked day and night in her lab. She was trying to make the creatures even stronger by changing their genes. It was difficult and dangerous work, but she didn't give up. On the front lines, Jae-sung led his creature into battle against the alien forces. They fought bravely, taking down many enemy ships and soldiers. But the aliens kept coming, and it seemed like there was no end to their numbers. Just when things looked darkest for humanity, Jae-yun had a breakthrough. She found a way to unlock the creature's true potential. She quickly sent the information to Jae-sung and the other creature riders. With Jae-yun's upgrade, the creatures transformed into even more powerful beasts. They grew larger, stronger, and faster. Their hides became tougher than the strongest alien metal. Their breath weapons burned hotter than the surface of a star. The tide of the war quickly turned in humanity's favor. The upgraded creatures tore through the alien armies like they were made of paper. The aliens were shocked and terrified by this new development. They had never seen anything like it before. Jae-sung and his creature led the final charge against the alien command ship. They blasted through its defenses and confronted the Galactic Council leaders inside. The aliens begged for mercy, but Jae-sung remembered all the years of oppression and cruelty his people had suffered. He ordered his creature to finish them off. With the council defeated, the rest of the alien forces surrendered. The war was finally over. Humanity had proven itself to be a force to be reckoned with. No longer would they be looked down upon by the other races of the galaxy. In the aftermath of the war, Earth became a respected member of the interstellar community. Jae-sung and Jae-yun were hailed as heroes for their roles in the victory. The bond between humans and their creature partners was celebrated as a shining example of what could be achieved through cooperation and understanding. As humanity looked to the stars, they knew that they were no longer alone. They had powerful allies in their creatures and a bright future ahead of them. The galaxy was full of wonders and dangers, but with their loyal pets by their side, humans were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Jae-sung stood on a hilltop overlooking the rebuilding of Earth's cities. His creature nuzzled up beside him, purring contentedly. Jae-sung patted its head and smiled. "We did it, buddy," he said. "We showed them what humanity is capable of, and we couldn't have done it without you." The creature rumbled happily in response. Together, the man and beast watched the sun set on a new era for Earth and the entire galaxy.